Welcome to the ESI Africa studio, broadcasting from the East African Power Industry Convention here in Nairobi. Today I am with Harold Hayes, who is the Chief Technical Officer at Landis+Gyr. Welcome, Harold.
Thank you.
Harold, we're going to be discussing Landis+Gyr's footprint in Africa as well as your expertise in the market. Now, I want to start off with just explaining a bit about Landis+Gyr's global footprint and how Africa fits into that.
Well, let's say a long time ago, South Africa was, let's call it independent from Landis+Gyr because of the prepayment portfolio. But now that smart metering has come along, we've basically enhanced the global footprint in terms of taking best practices from all and bringing all of that product into one. So the products that we're bringing to the market now has smart metering, some smart metering coming from Europe, some smart metering coming from other parts of the world. And now it's a global offering from South Africa in terms of the product that's been offered.
Right, and those products that are coming from all over the world, you are selecting the best suitable for the market here.
Yeah, we're actually taking let's say the firmware from it, so time of use, those types of things that has not been preferred in Africa. So people keep talking about time of use, but have never used it. So we take the time of use component from Europe, put that into the meter where we've always only used electricity irrespective of time of day. Now time of use is something that must be implemented, so those are some of the things that we're taking from the European market in terms of the time of use components into the meter. So it's still a 100% South African manufactured, engineered meter, but we're taking some clever components or let's say software items from the rest of the world and building them into the meter.
Oh, that sounds perfect, that you're actually building a solution that is specific to South Africa and the rest of Africa.
Yep.
Yeah. Harold, you're going to be speaking on the conference around reducing non-technical distribution losses and implementing new utility revenue streams. It seems like there's two different components here to your presentation. Tell us a bit about what you're going to be telling the audience.
Well, the aspect that when metering is being installed in Africa, South Africa, meters have gone in and people are expecting revenue to come back. But there's lots of tampering, bypassing, many things that are giving you non-technical losses, not understanding the grid. Do you have enough power in the grid? So now with smart metering, you actually can see what is happening on the meter. So your revenue now is secured. So you're putting a meter in, the meter will still operate as a prepaid meter if you want it to operate that way, where the customers pay before they use the power. They can be paying using conventional prepayment as we know it, as flat rate, but you can also now implement time of use. So if you do have restrictions, time of the year or time of the day, you can then program the meter to limit power at certain times of the day, even though the customer's on prepayment. The benefit, of course, you got on this whole system is that you're going to secure your revenue by seeing exactly what's being used. So the moment people start tampering with meters, or even if they're not tampering, the consumption is too high, is that you can put things in place to fix it. In terms of your upgrading transformers, upgrading equipment, looking at line capacity, all of this information now becomes available with that. With the smart meter solutions that we bring into Africa, we're also looking at then installing a MDMS, so a mass data warehouse fundamentally.
Okay.
And that then gives not only the utility in securing revenue, but also then securing the other components, outage management, tariff investigations. Are the tariffs right for the specific market? Differentiating between low power users, medium power users on a residential level, because they really do it on an industrial level, but on a residential level, getting a better understanding for it. So all this data sitting in a warehouse, having multiple suppliers, getting all their data into this warehouse. So at one place you can see all the data, and that's very important.
That's where the new revenue streams can
That's where the new revenue is going to come in, because you can offer customers better packages. You're going to be guaranteed your revenue. And customers will hopefully have power longer and not have outages.
Right. We talk a lot about smart meters, but isn't it also looking at different aspects of metering that is not necessarily smart?
Well, the real when people are talking smart, it's basically the meter being online. So that's for the smart component. But the meter, it's way more. As I said, it's got time of use. You've got load limit restrictions, time of the day. We have now emergency packages, so people can run out of money, have an emergency top up on the meter. Then when they go by, they actually in credit in the meter, so they would be able to push a button, give them so many kilowatts, time to go buy new electricity. When they put it in, that will be a deduction on what they're topping up. So the meter today can do anything. But in the smart metering, people are looking at other things. So now you can communicate with the meter. You now need to put load devices on. You need to have smart light switches. So you now can have street light switching using the same equipment that you're implementing on smart. So where before you had something else was monitoring street lights, you got geyser control. So now you want to use the same smart infrastructure you got on the ground to switch load on and off, to switch geysers on and off. Hot water cylinders for people who don't understand geysers. So that's what's got to come with the smart, is the additional devices that can live on that network. And with the G3 PLC compliance, that allows an open standard. Anybody that wants to design a switch, a monitor, another form of recording, as long as they're compliant, then of course they will be able to join the smart network on the PLC.
I think that's very important that you mention compliance and standards to make sure that the smart meters that are being put out there are useful not only to the utility but to the customer as well. And talking about smart meters, we have now smart customers, but how receptive are the African utilities to these smart solutions?
One of the things I'll talk about in my workshop that I also do, so I'm doing a presentation and a workshop, is the preparation before smart. Because what we've experienced in the smart meter projects that we rolled out is that the customer does not have enough information about their own reticulation. So when you want to roll smart out, they know where a transformer is, but which houses, which shops, what is connected to that network, they're unaware. So there's a lot of focus on the meter only, but the meter is one small component. So it's the preparation beforehand, knowing where you're going to install it, what type of customer are you going to install it, is there a tariff going to be applied, is time of use really going to be viable. I refer back to South Africa, where I know the low income group, they don't have an option. They can only go to work, get up at 5, leave at 6, come home at 7. They can't change that pattern. So it doesn't help putting in time of use. You're going to get no benefit to it. So it's understanding the customer environment to implement smart. So the benefit they would get there is that the meters are online. They will get good benefit out of that. But then understanding the customer base, preparing beforehand, knowing what you're going to put in. Because in a lot of instances, everyone just looks at the meter. Can your meter be smart? And everyone says, yes, we can. But then when we go to the ground, a lot of the projects fail because the preparation from a utility point of view has not been done. They need to change management. They need to now take meter readers, upgrade them to become smart meter installers, understanding the communication to the network. Now suddenly you're having IP addresses on the devices, so your IT network needs to change. So the change within the utility has to change, and everyone focuses on the meter, but you change all your stuff, you change your environment. Where do you get your data, the interface into billing? Those are the things that people are not talking to smart meter, because everyone talks to the meter, but no one looks at the total solution. And the whole utility needs to have change management to accommodate this this change in what you are using. So
that's very important.
Long time ago, people used to use landlines and a telephone, and you had to go to the phone to phone. Now you use a cell phone, and everyone does everything with it, and that's change management. You're doing everything differently. You're doing your banking on your phone. You're doing all these other things on your phone. You've changed the whole way of living because of your phone. Smart meters will be the same. The whole environment will change following the smart meter, but everyone's focused on the meter. It's not the meter. It's a total solution that needs to have change management within the utility.
I think that's a very, very good point to make for utilities when they decide on changing the meters that they have, or maybe upgrading those meters. And talking about upgrading meters, is it possible to upgrade existing meters to become smart?
Many people have tried that, but the meters have become, the price has come down, and the meters have become cleverer. So it's better just to change the meter, because if you just do an upgrade on an existing meter, you're going to go halfway to where you want to be. So if you look at a meter specification, he's saying if you install a meter in the African market, the meter should last 15 years. That's the specification. So if you're going to upgrade an existing meter and the meter's already been there for 10 years, the meter is going to lose longevity. In terms of tampering, there's many tamper features that are built into smart meters now. Magnetic detection, reverse detection, many things that if the customer goes near that meter, it's going to tell them, and now it's going to tell you remotely. Where if you upgrade an existing meter, you're not going to get that benefit. So yes, it's investing in the newer meter, investing in the latest communication technologies. That's the way we must go.
Harold, then lastly, what do you see as the next smart grid solutions that the industry should start preparing itself for?
As I said to you, using the G3 PLC allows many other devices to join that network. So everyone again is focused on a meter. So everyone's putting in the meter. But what other devices will come on? So you're going to get a smart load switch. You're going to get street lighting that comes with it. You're going to get some form of temperature sensing. You're going to get load sensing. That's going to be communicating to the back office. So it's the other devices that go on top of the same communication network that the meter is. That's where it's going to go. So I don't believe that a lot of smart meters are out there and lots of different technologies, but it's the additional devices that are going to join that network that's going to become the new smart.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us, Harold.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. I'm Nicolette Pomba-Ponseo, editor of ESI Africa, broadcasting from the East African Power Industry Convention in Nairobi.